Mansions turned to matchsticks and attic insulation ended up in the trees as a powerful EF4 clawed across Garland, Texas. Sirens and smartphone alerts sounded the warning.
The boys were making nachos and I heard the sirens go off and I grabbed them. I said, "You got to get to the bathroom." And they said, "We've got queso." I said, "Drag the queso in the bathrooms."
Ruth Crawley says her family made it into the safety of the bathroom just in time.
We all got in the bathtub and we were in our center bathroom in our house. And then all of a sudden it was like a train went over the top of us and then you could hear things just bolting into the roof.
One of Crawley's neighbors is Susan White. She says the tornado passed over quickly, but she will never forget the experience.
The scariest moment of my life. I mean, that's like 40 seconds, but it was very scary. It was like a loud roar, and our house shook.
As many as a dozen twisters touched down in Texas. And while some of these storms can be blamed on unseasonably warm weather, don't tell that to people who live in the Panhandle. A 26-county area is being blasted by snow. Most of Interstate 40 was shut down on Sunday because of blizzard-like conditions. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin has declared a state of emergency. It's estimated that 60,000 homes and businesses are without power in that state. Missouri's Governor Jay Nixon has also declared a state of emergency because of widespread flooding. In Washington, Kelly Wright, Fox News.
Strong winds, cold rain, and a dark and gloomy day captured the mood of Rowlett residents affected by the tornado, but not their spirits.
22 major structural damaged homes and 39 homes that have been totally destroyed, and there will be more.
I'm standing in one of the southernmost neighborhoods on the Rowlett Peninsula. To give you an idea, Lake Ray Hubbard is right there. The tornado is believed to have touched down in this area first, totally destroying that home. The church, if you look over here, it tore the steeple off and then it ripped on and blew northeast, damaging or destroying at least 150 homes.
The first house I saw was completely leveled. It was down to the ground, and there was already numerous people there trying to help.
Fox 4 News arrived just minutes after the tornado passed through and captured the caring and helpful spirit of this community, where neighbors like John Huffman and dozens of others just came out to help, even clearing some from the rubble.
When I first got there was, a set of legs sitting out under the front door, and they were talking with the people that were inside and that they were okay, but they said they'd got into the hall closet and that just seconds later the house just fell down on top of them. And
the firefighters were able to get the couple out of the debris and they were not seriously injured. While all are believed to be accounted for, search and rescue efforts continue. Structural engineers continue assessing the damaged or destroyed homes, the number sure to be in the hundreds. Despite the massive destruction, no one was killed and fewer than 24 injured. And for the nearly 60,000 residents of this lakeside city, one thing is clear.
God's watching over us.
As night sets in, police presence steps up. The affected areas are under a 24-hour curfew.
We've got it locked down pretty tight. We've got a lot of barricade blockades prohibiting anybody in the area that does not live there. And then we're going to have roaming officers going through there also.
In Rowlett, James Rose, Fox 4 News.
Local officials tell us there are still a lot of people unaccounted for. Search and rescue teams have been working since last night, searching through debris for anyone that's trapped in their homes. And there's a lot of ground for them to cover. The damage from these tornadoes stretches about 40 miles across the Dallas metro area and includes more than 600 structures. Most of these were single-family homes. The storm blew roofs off, threw cars from driveways into living rooms, and completely devastated neighborhoods, filled with families still celebrating Christmas and the holidays. And despite the destruction, many folks are just grateful to be alive.
It's the grace of God how He works, man. I'm really grateful, because my wife works not that far from here. If I didn't call her, she'd be here right now. My kids will be here too, so, a lot of things.
City leaders are still trying to complete assessments of the damages, but say dozens of people were injured and at least 11 people were killed in the storms overnight. 5 of those deaths happened at this busy intersection in the city of Garland, where officials say a tornado made a direct hit, completely crushing several cars and tossing others off the road entirely. That same twister then moved east and caused absolute devastation in the city of Rowlett, where the mayor says it's a miracle that nobody was killed.
I think the thing that actually saved us is the fact that we had plenty of warning. The sirens went off multiple times. We had calls out to the citizens, and I think the bottom line is that's why we were able to not have any fatalities at this point.
And sadly, even as folks are trying to get back to their homes to start to clean up, more storms, possibly severe ones, are forecasted to hit the area later today. In Washington, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
It sounded like a freight train coming through.
Devastation across Texas today after several tornadoes, including a powerful EF4, ripped through the northern part of the state.
We still don't know the 100% extent of damage. We've done a primary search last night and a secondary search, but we're going to go back and search each structure to make sure that we don't miss anything.
Crews across the state are focused on cleanup and recovery after battling deadly storms and heavy rains and flooding. And if that wasn't enough, the western part of the state facing blizzard conditions.
My message is please stay home. If we need help, we will call you. I promise we'll call for help. We've got all the help we need right now. We don't need extra people around. It really hampers our ability to do our job.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott declaring a state of disaster for 4 counties as the number of people injured continues to rise.
We pray and support those who have lost a family member. We pray and support those who have had their homes destroyed and their lives turned upside down.
It's just sad. It's hard to see all these people's livelihood gone. You know, cars destroyed, flipped over in front of houses, and it's just hard to see. So it's just unbelievable to me.
The heavy storm system's making its way across the country, with Missouri also facing deadly storms and flooding. As the damage continues to be uncovered and the cleanup continues, the state's not out of the woods yet. There are flash flood warnings through Sunday night. In Rowlett, Texas, Will Carr, Fox News.
All right, guys, now we're going to watch more clips of Governor Abbott speaking at a weather press conference yesterday.
There have been 4 counties that have declared a disaster that Texas similarly has made a disaster declaration for already. That includes Collin County, Dallas County, Ellis County, and Rockwall County. Now, there may be more that are added to that as time proceeds. But at this stage, our key focus is this, and that is, first, rescue and recovery. Second, aiding and assisting those who need to get to shelter. Third is helping families and communities rebuild from the challenges they have faced. Most immediately, however, in the next 24 hours, there is something that we are asking of citizens across the state of Texas. We need you to remain vigilant. We need you to listen to local authorities' warnings about action you may need to take. It includes remaining in shelter in places where you may be frozen. It ensures that you stay off of roads unless you have to travel on those roads, understanding this, and that is the roads across the state of Texas, especially north of I-10, remain in a perilous condition. Well, on the total number, we've seen varying numbers ranging to even more than a dozen. I can tell you that the tornado in Garland was a Category 4. The one in Rowlett was a Category 3. And so these are significant, powerful tornadoes that were capable of inflicting massive damage.
She had her phone down on the cup holder, and I was just looking at her.
You don't know the value of a moment.
She asked me, "What's for dinner?" I'm like, "I'm eating Roadhouse. I don't know about you."
Until It's a memory.
She started screaming. The call disconnected. And I tried to call her back. And I couldn't.
6:45 Saturday night, Ruben Porras says he wanted to hear the voice of his wife, 27-year-old Petra Porras, but only got a busy signal. The moments as he hit redial were agonizing.
And I just had a feeling.
He tracked the location on his wife Petra's iPhone, which said she was by I-30 and President George Bush Turnpike in Garland.
And when I got there, I looked inside the car and I grabbed her hand and I tried to talk to her, but she wasn't responding to me. It was the worst day ever.
Petra's Yukon was thrown off the overpass.
It just felt like something inside of me died, you know? Like a part of me died with her.
All things a tornado.
The 27-year-old leaves behind 4 young kids.
You got to go to school. You got to work hard to get what you want in life. Don't be a slacker, she tell him.
The oldest is 9-year-old Jasmine, who gave her mom this coupon book for Christmas.
She was an amazing woman, you know. Wonderful mom, wonderful wife, friend. Everybody loved her.
The Porras family says to cherish every moment with those you love.
Because you never know.
You never know. One minute you're here, the next minute you're gone.
Because in an instant, they can become memory.
This is what she said. She's never leaving that place.
From hail to snow.
First house I saw was completely leveled.
To a deadly tornado, stories of survival and loss are emerging from the Lone Star State.
She had her phone down on the cup holder, and I was just looking at her.
Perhaps no story is more horrifying than what happened to Ruben Porras. He was on the phone with his wife Petra when the tornado hit.
She started screaming. The call disconnected. And I tried to call her back. And I couldn't.
Ruben says he used his wife's iPhone to track her location. The tornado had picked up her SUV and thrown it off an overpass in Garland, Texas.
When I got there, I looked inside the car and I grabbed her hand and I tried to talk to her, but she wasn't responding to me.
Petra did not survive. The 27-year-old leaves behind 4 young children. At a mobile home park in Glen Heights, Texas, one man is just thankful he and his family were not at home when the tornado came calling.
We was at a family party, Christmas party, when it came through there. So I rushed back because my parents and everybody called me to check on the house, and it was gone.
The National Weather Service says at least 9 twisters touched down in North Texas. The tornado that hit Garland, Texas, is only the second EF4 to hit Dallas County since 1950. In Washington, Kelly Wright, Fox News.
All right, guys, here are some more clips from my press conference on tornado damage in Rowlett, Texas.
At this time, we have 23 reported injuries. We do not know the extent of those injuries or the status. As of this morning, about 6,000 homes, primarily on the east side of Rowlett, were still without power. Encore has teams in Rowlett working on restoring that power.
We still don't know the 100% extent of damage. We've done a primary search last night and a secondary search, but we're going to go back and search each structure to make sure that we don't miss anything. My message is please stay home. If we need help, we will call you. I promise we'll call for help. We've got all the help we need right now. We don't need extra people around. It really hampers our ability to do our job.
And now, guys, we're going to look at some aerials of the tornado destruction out of Texas. Look at this. It is just so awful to see some of this destruction. You can see homes destroyed. Some homes not even standing anymore, vehicles destroyed. Such an awful, awful thing to look at, but I'm sure everyone in that area just grateful to be alive, those of them that lost homes. Absolute destruction, completely unexpected this time of the year. Really, really sad for those people affected out in Texas. So the aerials you're looking at come out of Garland, Texas, and Rowlett, Texas. Both areas hit hard by this weekend's devastating storm. We know at least 11 people killed and dozens of people injured in these strong tornadoes that swept through the Dallas area, causing substantial damage over the weekend. Again, this was the latest of a succession of powerful weather events across the country, from heavy snow in New Mexico, West Texas, and the Oklahoma Panhandle to flash flooding in parts of the Plains and the Midwest. Now we know these last few days of tumultuous weather have led to a total of 36 deaths overall. Those in Texas, plus 5 in Illinois, 1 in Missouri, and 19 in the Southeast. It is pretty sad to look at some of this damage. Vehicles mangled, power lines down, trees toppled, homes destroyed. Really a 40-mile stretch near Dallas, really affected by the storms over the weekend. Now, according to the National Weather Service, the tornado involved winds with more than 200 winds of up to more than 200 miles per hour. Pretty crazy, all this hitting just before 7 p.m. on Saturday evening. And then, of course, there was rain in the area as well, rain and wind, which hampered any sort of cleanup effort Sunday afternoon.
Dangerous weather not letting up on folks in the country's midsection. Driving in Oklahoma dangerous due to ice and down power lines. Residents there bracing for major flooding after some areas in the state received up to a foot of rain over the weekend.
You got to be prepared for it. If it rains hard in Fayetteville, you know it's coming this way. Those are decks from somebody's cabin that are floating by.
Meantime, blizzard conditions hit the Texas Panhandle, the wintry weather cutting off power and making roads impassable across a 26,000 square mile area. Snow also on the ground outside Dallas, where this car service employee is busy helping motorists, but advising people to just stay home.
Cars off the roads, sliding, slipping, sliding everywhere. Icy conditions, roadways very, 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 very treacherous.
Many Texans still reeling from this weekend's string of severe weather. Deadly tornadoes striking the northern part of the state, among them a powerful EF4. The damage significant here in Rowlett, where the tornado ripped through the area. The state's governor asking residents to remain vigilant.
We pray and support those who have lost a family member. We pray and support those who have had their homes destroyed and their lives turned upside down.
Residents here aren't the only ones cleaning up. Authorities say that more than 70 structures were damaged in Birmingham, Alabama on Christmas Day from another tornado. In Rowlett, Texas, Will Carr, Fox News.
And even though I've been showing you extensive tornado damage from over the weekend, it wasn't just tornadoes that struck Texas. This is actually snow out in Lubbock, Texas. You can see the roads completely covered. It's kind of amazing to see just the variety of weather and weather damage in one state alone. We know that 16 inches, more than 16 inches, dropped in the Albuquerque area of New Mexico. Cars completely stranded. Interstate 40 shut down yesterday and overnight. Apparently it just was scheduled to open this just in the last hour or so. But yeah, this is some snow video out of Lubbock, Texas. And speaking of snow, this is a story from Fox National about the snowstorm that hit Las Cruces, Texas.
Covered in snow.
I really thought it wasn't going to snow. And then all of a sudden it hit, and before you know it, it was coming down and wouldn't stop.
After a winter storm blankets the borderland, creating a white Christmas just 2 days too late.
I'm surprised we got this much.
As much as a foot of snow fell in some places Saturday afternoon.
We're expecting some snow, but nothing like this.
And Old Man Winter didn't let up overnight. Several more inches fell, damaging power lines and knocking out electricity for hundreds. But as soon as the sun came up today and the clouds cleared,
I felt like Elsa this morning and I wanted to build a snowman.
The kid came out in everyone. Residents bundled up and headed outdoors to enjoy the winter wonderland.
This is once a year occurrence, so we got to take full advantage of it.
Some headed straight for the hills.
Go sledding and have fun.
Well, we got these sliding discs that we have, and we get to use them when we go to White Sands. This is a little bit closer to home, so we'll take advantage of it.
Others rolled with the punches, and some drew the battle line for a big snowball fight.
You can throw snowballs and cool stuff. You can make snowmans, snow girls.
I think it's a lot more fun today because the sun's actually out and we can actually play in the snow.
But for Leo Perez, the best part of today wasn't the snow.
As you can see, my boys love coming out here, so got to come out here and watch them.
It was about making a few special memories with his kids before they grow up.
My boys like coming out here, so they're getting older, so sooner or later they'll be out here by themselves.
And this is video of the snowstorm that hit the panhandle of Texas. Again, if it wasn't tornadoes, it was snow affecting the state of Texas over the weekend. This blizzard that hit the panhandle, considered a historic blizzard, blanketed the panhandle over the weekend. Now we know that this storm system created dangerous travel conditions in Texas, Oklahoma, and some parts of Missouri and Kansas, leading to multiple road closures. Now, the same weather system, interestingly enough, led to the tornadoes in North Texas. So they were all kind of part of the same weather pattern. In some areas, they got snow. In other areas, they got very destructive tornadoes. And speaking of video out of Texas, here is video of a powerful hailstorm. Look at that. It's pretty crazy to look at this video. This video comes out of North Richland Hills, Texas. This is a video of hail. Some hail described as the size of golf balls plummeting the Dallas area. We know that the American Red Cross stepped in, providing shelters for those who lost their homes as a result of the tornadoes that also affected the same area of Dallas. It is pretty crazy, and we know that forecasters have blizzard warnings in effect until later this afternoon. Obviously, again, really unfortunate for those people living in Texas. Look at that video. Someone's showing their hand and the golf ball. The hand with a golf ball and a piece of hail. It's pretty crazy to see that. And here is more video of Texas snow. It's pretty crazy to look at. This video is out of Tarrant County, Texas. Tarrant County, Texas. We know that more than 10 inches of snow fell in Lubbock, and in Tarrant County, auto shops were working overtime to secure cars that were on and off the road.
Started really early, probably around 10 last night, all the way out to Abilene, all the way back here. Very busy. Cars off the roads, sliding, slipping, sliding everywhere. Icy conditions, roadways, very, 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 very treacherous. Slow down. Don't go out if you don't have to. Stay at home.
And this blizzard also affected Amarillo, Texas. Let's go ahead and look at that video coming in from Amarillo, Texas. Another area hit hard by this weekend's snowstorm.
Stay 30 more seconds.
Meanwhile, in Oklahoma, there was a ice storm warning issued. This is video out of Oklahoma, just north of Texas. Again, an ice storm warning was in effect for central Oklahoma. We know this video came in yesterday morning. Plenty of sleet coming down the area. You can see here it's ice mixed with some snow. Between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of ice was expected to fall by Monday morning, this morning. This is again in central Oklahoma. And here is more video out of Oklahoma. In fact, this is the town of El Reno, Oklahoma. Again, a statewide mix of severe weather triggering a state of emergency in the state of Oklahoma. We know blizzard conditions in the northwestern part of the state, heavy rain and flooding in the east, and ice storms out in the west. The Oklahoma governor declaring a state of emergency as the weather shuts down roads and travel and leaves tens of thousands of people without power. Again, authorities urged people in Oklahoma to stay off the road. As we showed you earlier, the roads turning into sheets of ice in western Oklahoma, and the U.S. Geological Survey recording 3 minor earthquakes in the area Sunday as well. Those quakes ranging from magnitude 2.5 to magnitude 3.4, hitting uninhabited swamp areas near Medford, Perry, and Arcadia, Oklahoma. Wow, this weather is just crazy. Mother Nature. Wow, it is absolutely crazy. And as we mentioned, in addition to the snow and the tornadoes, there has also been flooding. Here is some video out of Oklahoma, Sapulpa, the flooding out there. Wow, look at these images that are coming in. Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Apparently 2 people had to be rescued by emergency crews out there after the tent they were staying in was swept away by floodwaters. Now, police noticed that the couple was clinging to a tree line while they were checking water levels on a street near the creek. Officials were able to get a boat into the water and rescue the pair. And this video, or this story rather, coming out of Tulsa and the flooding out in Tulsa.
Trying to capture video of the worst flooding, this is as far as we could get. 191st and Memorial, where the road is impassable due to high waters. One driver we spoke to says he knows of at least one person who got stuck in high water further down the road.
We had a friend, Christian, out here, and he drove off into the ditch, and his car stuck in the ditch, and it's flooded.
Other neighbors tell us 191st and Mingo was even worse.
Get up there at 191st, that's where it gets real deep. It could be 6-8 feet.
This area off 191st is just one of several flooded areas across the Tulsa Metro. Broken Arrow also had several street closings this morning, such as here on 101st Street near Garnett, where water is still lining the roadway. Broken Arrow city officials tell me main roads like this one are back open now, but they are continuing to monitor the conditions. ODOT crews are also working on some flooded spots, such as State Highway 11 between 76th and 86th. But this area off 191st near Mingo is the worst we've seen, and some drivers speculate it may be getting even worse.
We've seen it quite a few places where it's blocking off, and it's starting to flood roads in other places that aren't blocked off.
Now we have some weather video out of Missouri as well. This is video of flooding in Springfield, Missouri. Again, this video out of Springfield, Missouri, where highways and streets completely swamped, making driving conditions very difficult. We know that, unfortunately, flooding in Missouri, specifically Pulaski County, very severe, claiming the lives of 6 people. Officials say in 2 separate incidents, drivers drove onto flooded roadways and were unfortunately swept up by floodwaters. Really just unfortunate news all around in the Midwest, in the South. It just really sad to see some of this video. But here is a somewhat positive story about a father and son who was saved from the flooding out in Missouri. A father and son rescued in Missouri after their car was overcome with floodwaters. Now, firefighters say they were called to the scene in Wildwood, Missouri, just after 9 p.m. on Saturday night. Officials say the father was able to save his son from the waters and then climbed a tree until help arrived. The man waited in the tree for just over 2 hours until he was rescued. As we mentioned earlier, heavy rain expected in this area throughout the weekend and throughout today, Monday, which would in turn cause more flooding. Again, 6 people killed in Missouri, specifically Pulaski County, just from the flooding. And here is video of flooding in Brentwood, Missouri. Brentwood, Missouri, somewhat near St. Louis, Missouri. Again, flash flooding, emergency crews responding to reports of stranded motorists. So much rain throughout the weekend. Look at that video. It's absolutely crazy to look at. Just how bad this storm was. And in addition to Oklahoma and Missouri and Texas, other places also affected by the storm. Here is a story out of Holly Springs, Mississippi, about the cleanup after
and
the
recovery
tornado.
come in different sounds, like a buzzsaw. Volunteers use this equipment to cut away fallen trees and limbs left behind by Wednesday's killer tornadoes. Stephen Riles tells us he lives in the area of Holly Springs.
I've done donations, and now I'm out here looking for something to clean up and help out.
To help people like 69-year-old Clyde Driver. He was sitting in his wheelchair when the tornado practically destroyed his home.
But in a few seconds, it was all over. You didn't have time to count to 30 before it was all over. I looked outside, everything was gone.
As Driver finds the pieces of his life, destruction from these powerful storms just can't be swept away. Homes have been destroyed. The basic comforts such as electricity are gone. That's where groups like Southern Baptist Relief arrive to help. They travel the nation after destructive storms, offering their time, effort, and sweat to clean up the debris.
Well, the Lord's just blessed me with the talents and the time and the equipment to do the job. And we love helping others.
Brasher and his volunteers traveled more than 75 miles to help the people of Holly Springs. They've been in this community for 3 days. Removing the debris allows the recovery effort to speed up, the healing to begin.
Words cannot describe how it makes you feel. It's wonderful.
Again, these were cleanup efforts from Holly Springs, Mississippi. Again, those were tornadoes from last week, the tornadoes that we covered extensively here on News Now in the state of Mississippi. Now, getting back to the tornadoes that struck over the weekend in Texas, here is video of a tornado knocking down power lines. Let's go ahead and look at this video. Again, the damage over the weekend, absolutely crazy.
See the edge of it there? Big
tornado. Big
right
tornado.
It's radar's right ahead of us.
Okay.
And it's ahead of us by probably a mile or so.
Oh, I see it! It's crossing the highway right there. I can see it.
Yep, there it is.
Big tornado.
Big, strong tornado.
Yeah,
Probably just moving north of the highway now.
No, it's
can't see it but for the power flashes. Oh, there it is. Whoa!
Oh, it's big.
That is big.
Oh! There's stuff flying in the air. Get it? Yeah.
I got it.
Oh, there's people stopping on the highway.
Can't see the whole circuit.
Yeah.
So maybe slow down a second.
Yep.
It's probably north of the highway.
I can still see it. It's still there. Yeah, it's right there. Right? I can see it.
Yeah, that's it. That's a monster.
It's big. Oh, it's very big. Oh, it's massive.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's big. It's hitting stuff.
Look at all that. Dude,
Get it.
The power flashes are back here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a big tornado. Big, strong tornado.
There it goes.
Are you getting it?
Yep.
Oh, the sound of it. There it is. I gotta pass this guy. I know, I'm watching. Big tornado. I'm gonna close your window.
Yep.
I gotta move my GoPro again.
Massive tornado.
Yeah, this is very big. It went over the lake. Yeah, I'm closing it. Oh,
Are you gonna close this?
Yes. Hold on a second.
Wow, look at that. Look at all those power flashes.
Yep. It's hitting. We're on lake. What's this lake here? Oh Lord.
That was absolutely crazy video out of Texas. We watched as tornado chasers captured that video of that massive tornado. Now you guys are looking at video of smashed vehicles in Garland, Texas. Smashed vehicles in Garland, Texas.
Around. I want to bring in Mike Patrick.
We have a lot of people that are injured as well that have been transported, and right now, as you can see, we're dealing with darkness, so we're trying to just utilize some search patterns to see if we've got any other victims that we just haven't been able to locate. The Department of Public Safety is being a tremendous help out here, working with the vehicles and trying to work on this. They're considering this what of a catastrophe at this point, a natural catastrophe. So we're working with them. As the hours go on, we'll run some registrations. We'll start checking in with some families to see how many might have been in these vehicles. So that's what we've got to work on. Well, some people, as we arrived, did survive out of some vehicles that you see behind me. I can't tell you that exact number, but I do know that we had some that survived. Can't tell you the exact number. Yeah, our traffic on I-30 has been really rough tonight. And the problem with people stopping and looking is that we've got emergency responders that are trying to get to other locations that we've gotten reports of damage, and we need to check on those locations as well. So if people can stay out of this area as much as possible, that would help us a lot just with traffic alone.
Really sad to look at this video of the smashed vehicles in Garland, Texas. You can see it's right next to the overpass, the freeway overpass. I'm just wondering if this is the same location where the wife of that husband who we heard from earlier, where her car had been smashed, where she unfortunately lost her life. So really just a sad story all around, looking at some of this damage out in Texas. Now I'm going to go show you video from Sunnyvale, Texas of mobile home park damage. These are aerials from a mobile home park in Sunnyvale, Texas. Again, this is video of a mobile home park in Sunnyvale, Texas. This is the damage from the tornadoes over the weekend. Now, this is some video of the destruction in Garland, Texas. some aerials of just the massive destruction to hit Garland, Texas. And now you're looking at aerials of some home damage out of Texas. Again, just absolute devastation in Dallas, or rather the area around Dallas, Texas. Specifically, Garland hit really hard, as well as some other suburbs of Dallas. Again, this was video of home damage out of Texas, some aerials that were sent to us from Fox National. And I'm going to play this clip for you guys out of Ohio. It's some sound bites, some clips of how Ohio is going to help with aid, help those affected by these devastating tornadoes.
And so we prepared and packed up pretty much before Christmas, had our vehicles ready. And then the extent of the devastation that we just saw in the Dallas general area, we had to load up a little bit more than we were going to take down. More winter type things, blankets, some umbrellas, things like that. Well, what we know is that there's been extensive damage to over 60 homes, we've heard. It's hit several neighborhoods, so we do expect that to rise. We feel very fortunate that we can represent Cincinnati and all the great people and all the great corporations that support us and go down and help those people. We'll go in there, we try to comfort them. You know, we're giving them supplies that will help them, but really what we're doing is we're bringing them hope and some normalcy, and that really is the biggest thing that we're taking down there.
Again, this is Matthew 25 Ministries, an international humanitarian aid and disaster relief organization. They actually started preparing even before the tornadoes hit because they knew of the possible storms. That's when they started loading up multiple trucks with necessary items that the families in that region would need. Matthew 25 Ministries has been helping people in need for over 2 decades, and you just heard from Tim Meddy, who is the CEO of Matthew 25 Ministries. All right, guys. We just have a couple more weather-related clips to go. This one out of Arkansas, Bearden, Arkansas tornado video. Look at that. And next, we're going to go ahead and move on to Birmingham, Alabama, and the storm damage out there. Look at that.
I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to even be alive this morning. It's just history repeating itself. Waking up saying this.
This is unforeseen. With no expectations, we thought that this would happen in this area, and especially on Christmas.
And this wraps up some of our United States weather coverage. I do have one clip, though. We were not the only area affected by things like tornadoes, snow, flooding. In fact, the UK, the northern United Kingdom, affected by flooding. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this